The average person is afraid of how AI or automation might take their job, but I don't want you to be average. By the end of this video, I want you to have the mindset of an elite entrepreneur. And don't be afraid of if AI is gonna do your job, but I want you to be terrified of you doing AI's job. And here's why. Let's calculate your hourly rate. Whether you're actually paid hourly, you have a salary, or you run your own business, when it comes down to it, the amount of money that you make divided by the amount of time it takes you to make it, that's your hourly rate. And this video has nothing to do with convincing someone to pay you that rate. It's about changing our mindset so we're thinking about the amount of money that goes into our bank account and the amount of time it took us to get it there. If you're an hourly worker making $25 an hour and you're working 2,000 hours a year, you're making about 50K. If you're salaried at 100K and you're working 40-hour work weeks, then you're making about 48 bucks per hour. And if you're an entrepreneur making 250K in 60 hours a week, then you're working for about $80 per hour. And once you know your hourly rate, it's only one more step to see how AI and automation can help you manipulate this formula so that you can get more financial freedom and live the life that you desire. If you use it to increase the amount of money that you make in the same amount of time, your hourly rate goes up, so does your annual income. Keep your income the same, but use AI and automation to decrease the amount of time it takes you to make that money, then your hourly rate goes up and you have more time to do other stuff. And best of all, if you use a combination of AI and automation to increase the amount of money you're making and decrease the amount of time that it takes you, now you're playing a whole different ball game and talking about unlocking true time freedom. So here's how we're gonna do it. Step one is to automate your daily repetitive tasks. In this video, I talked about how I send thousands of emails to potential clients for my YouTube agency. I use a platform called Instantly to send those emails, and it uses some AI to mark the replies as interested or not interested. And that's pretty cool. But we're not really worried about the automations or things that are built into a singular platform. The magic gets unlocked when we look for opportunities to get platforms to automatically talk to each other. So think about the tasks that run your life or your business and what platforms you use to do so. What I used to do is whenever a reply was marked as not interested in Instantly, I would then manually go over to Pipedrive, which is the CRM I use to organize all of my tasks and information about potential clients, and I would then say, okay, this is now not interested. But doing this manually is a complete waste of time. You've probably heard of Zapier, and that's because it's one of the easiest tools to start automating tasks like this. I now have one that triggers whenever Instantly reads a reply, says that the person is not interested, it automatically goes to Pipedrive, finds that same person, and marks them as not interested there. Simple, automatic. Time spent is decreased, and the hourly rate is now increased. I can keep making that same amount of money in less time, or I can use that time to take a vacation, live life, or do something else in my business that's gonna make me even more money. Another example of where you can do something like this is in organizing your ideas and keeping them in one place. I love using Notion, but the mobile app is pretty clunky, and so when I'm on the move, it's hard to open up the app and find exactly what I need. But Slack though, which is actually made for messaging, has a convenient little widget on my home screen that with one tap lets me send a message to my video ideas channel. So my Zapier automation triggers anytime I send a message to that channel, and it puts it automatically into my Notion database. So then when I go sit down to actually work on content, all of the ideas I had while I was out grocery shopping or waiting on the sideline playing pickleball are in the right place. No more forgetting killer video ideas, increased income, increased hourly rate, and annual income. Think about the tasks that you're doing over and over, especially to get one part of your life to talk to another. And if you're not really sure where your time is going, but you feel like you're busy and you would love to get some stuff off of your plate, I recommend that you use an app called Rise. They're not sponsoring this video. I'm talking about them because I actually use them every day and will tell anyone who will listen. But it's a simple time tracking app that you install onto your laptop. And I've got a free course on just getting it set up. But the idea is Rise is gonna automatically track and categorize everything you're doing so you can find places to be more productive and make yourself more money. For example, this is a day where I spent 6 hours working and all of the categories that I spent time in. Here's a report of all the top things that interrupted me while I was working and how much time those interruptions took away. And here's a breakdown of the time I spent doing focused work versus being in meetings or taking breaks. Like I said, this video is not sponsored, but you can grab a free trial of Rise using the link below. And while you're down there, also grab the link to my free business audit, because depending what stage of of your business that you're in, it may not be time to automate certain tasks just yet. We wanna make sure that you're doing the right tasks first, so that audit is gonna identify the weak spots in your business and tell you what order to do things in, such as setting up these different AI and automations. Okay, so step one was where automation comes into play. Step two, let's talk about AI. Automations are just simple tasks, one step and then the next. AI is where you need the system to do some type of thinking or organizing for you, and depending on the things you put in, the outputs are going to be different every time. If you do any writing in your life or business, you've probably heard of ChatGPT. And if you've tried it, you may think that it's overhyped. I actually stopped using ChatGPT for an entire year because the results were just super basic, generic, the writing was boring, and yeah, it wasn't helpful. That was until I learned that you can use custom GPTs, and this changed everything for me. I truly think the results are at least 10 times better than what everyone else is getting. And in order to set up custom GPTs, you have to get a $20 per month account, but I think it's worth it even if you just try it out for 1 month and see how it goes. So the basic version of ChatGPT pulls information just from the broad internet, which makes sense why the results are super basic and generic. But with a custom GPT, you teach the GPT exactly what you want it to know and how you want it to respond and interact with you. That turns it into this highly trained, expert, super fast writing assistant. So for my custom GPT, I uploaded all of my existing YouTube content and the information about my business. So it's an expert on the Lili Invest brand and the type of content that I want to create. Then I gave it specific details about what I think makes good YouTube content, good scripts, good thumbnail ideas. And I told it that it's now my channel strategist and brainstorming partner. So anytime I put in, hey, I want to make a video about this topic, it then interacts with me. It asks me questions about who the target audience is or what the problem I want to solve is. It gives me ideas for thumbnails, and it's really just a back and forth process that helps me get to the finished video script rather than me saying, write me a video script about X. For this video, I knew 4 of the 5 items that I wanted to talk about, but I couldn't quite come up with the 5th one. So I asked the custom GPT for suggestions. And because it knows me and my content and was working with me to craft this video, it gave me much better, more specific options than just generic ChatGPT search would. You can do the same thing if you make content or if you do any writing at all, like your emails, for example. Spend an hour loading up your previous emails to the custom GPT. It'll learn your tone of voice, it'll learn your common responses and answers to common questions that you're getting. And that way, whenever you sit down to answer emails, you can just copy and paste them into the custom GPT, have it give you a first draft response, make a couple of tweaks, and send it out. It'll save you so much time, which will of course increase your hourly rate. Now with step 3, we're gonna stop playing small and take things to the next level. Automating tasks and writing faster are good places to start, but they only attack one part of our income equation. If you want true financial freedom, you have to find a way to both increase your income and decrease the amount of time that you're spending working on. And to do that, you need other people to help you run your business. My first 2 hires were a video editor and an assistant from the Philippines that I could hire to help on specific tasks when they came up. No matter who you hire first, you'll have to train them on whatever specific tasks you want them to do. And the better the training, the better the results, which should make you more money. And the less time you have to spend repeating yourself and the less time that they have to spend struggling to get it done decreases the amount of work, increases your costs, and increases your hourly rate. My number 1 hack for doing this well is loom.com. It's a platform that lets you record your screen, but also record yourself through your webcam at the same time. And I think with a free account, you get like 5 minutes of recording time per video, which can be plenty, and you can always make a part 2 if you need to. So in my Notion system, I have a page called the Knowledge Hub. And this is where whenever there's a task that I have to do or a task that I'm assigning to someone else, I record a Loom about that task, laying out all of the different instructions. This way, I don't have to repeat it and teach it again if I hire someone new to do that task. And if someone has questions, they don't just have to come back to me and ask, they can rewatch the video and figure it out. I've got trainings that are meant for my clients, like how do they submit content for us to edit, and I've got trainings for my team, like how do they conduct keyword research. Here's where AI and automation come into play. So when I record the Loom, it automatically creates a transcript of everything that I said. But it's not really useful for someone just to read through a transcript. So I can then take that transcript and put it into ChatGPT, The basic one or a custom one are fine for this, and tell it to turn that transcript into a step-by-step checklist called a standard operating procedure. Then in the Knowledge Hub, I embed that Loom, I copy and paste the checklist, and I tag the training appropriately. Adding items to my Knowledge Hub is actually one of my favorite things to do. It makes me feel so productive and like a true business owner, because I know I'll never have to do that task again, or I'll never have to teach someone how to do that task again. They can watch it, teach themselves, and execute without my intervention. Less time, more money. Step 4 is how you get your existing clients to get you new clients. Whenever anything good happens for someone that you're working with, maybe you sent them a social media graphic and they responded, "Oh my goodness, this is amazing," or you just finished setting up their new website. Whatever it is, when you get a client win, you need to request a testimonial. Bonus points if you can request this testimonial automatically. Let's say that you know your first client win comes on day 7 after they work with you, and you send them the first deliverable. You should automatically have an email that goes out on day 8 of their customer journey that sends them a request for this testimonial. I use a platform called testimonial.io, and I have a link that takes them to a page where they can automatically leave a video review or write a written review. And remember how we said automation is really powerful when it connects different platforms to one another. So on my website, I have a testimonial.io widget that whenever a testimonial is submitted through my link, it automatically adds it to my website. So the testimonial request goes out automatically via email when I know I've had a customer win, and then when they submit it, it automatically goes onto my website. So the scroll bar of positive results on my website just keeps getting longer and longer without any intervention from me. Less time, more money. It won't take long to implement these types of AI and automation into your business, but if you're not sure that you're ready for it, take my free business audit, which is linked in the first comment of this video, so you can figure out where your weak spots are and create a game plan for exactly what you should do first in your business to help you get to the next level. And if you want to see that video of exactly how I use the time tracker called Rise to take my productivity to the next level, I'll link it right here.